Hey there. So Ahsoka, huh? I guess it's over. Season 1 is done. And yeah, it was a bit of a disappointment for me. Wasn't really the height of the season. Um a few episodes ago, maybe episode 6, when Thrawn showed up. That was probably the peak of the season, right? I was really excited to see what this new galaxy had to offer. Thrawn was looking pretty interesting. He had a, a really creepy demeanor to him. Seemed very calculated in the way he talked and the way he thought. But in the following episodes, he became a little bit too much of a smartass, right? and we didn't get to see too much of the galaxy here. We were stuck on this planet, and we were mostly stuck in the command center with Thrawn, and then the other heroes in the desert with the crabs. You know, I guess we shouldn't have expected too much, right? This is just the first time we're out of the galaxy into a new one. It's a tease. It's a tease. Put that over there. It's a tease. But let's get into the episode, and we'll run down my thoughts as we go along. So we're gonna put up the spoilers. Spoiler section time. Please leave the room if you haven't seen episode 8 of Ahsoka. Thank you. Okay. There's Thrawn, creepy snake looking thing. That's just the previously on, right? Alrighty. So here we go. Here's the start. Still on this platform. He's either on the platform or he's either in his command room, right? And I wanted to see Thrawn kind of get down on the earth, you know. Oh yeah, we got the transformation here. She goes full goth here with her black eyes, and she gets this cool sword, right? I mean, I guess it's cool. It has some cool green magic, but that just makes her another sword warrior. We already have a bunch of sword warriors. We have lightsaber warriors. We have Jedi. Maybe she could use magic in some other way. It would have been cool to see her like maybe shoot fire or something, or use her, the force to like control someone's mind or something, or get in their heads. Something magical. No, we don't really get that, but we'll get to those scenes. I thought they were gonna fight. They were gonna do a little training here, but no. So then, blah blah blah. Ahsoka and Sabine. So Ahsoka figures that yeah, Sabine decided to go with she figures out what happened basically, right? Sabine didn't gave the sphere map to Thrawn, or not to Thrawn, to Balin and the witch, and they were able to get here. And she apologizes for that, right? For that choice. But again, Ahsoka's like not really showing much emotion, and she's like, "Yeah, I know you're sorry." Again, with the stilted dialogue here in this scene, that just doesn't feel very authentic, like real people talking. They get attacked. This is an okay scene. I guess this is probably the highlight action scene, which is unfortunate because it's right at the beginning of the episode. because they got you to use their force powers. So I guess at this point, Sabina's more adept with her force powers, right? Later on, she like is able to grab a lightsaber with her force powers, and then she pushes Ezra. We'll get to there. Their ship's broken down, so of course they're gonna have to use the wolf dogs, horses, things. She's all happy right now because she's got her witch powers, but later on she's gonna be abandoned by Thrawn. Oh, how sad. They get there pretty quickly. Cause like I thought, like last episode, I thought Thrawn was about to leave like in a couple minutes or something. Like it seems a little weird. And like the whole thing with the stormtroopers leaving in the middle of the fight in last episode, I feel like that was because they had to hurry up to get on the ship, right? But now it doesn't seem so urgent anymore. Like, oh yeah, they could have just waited and come in now. See, like right here, before Thrawn was like, let's defend the ground. Like I thought he was gonna go down. Like he actually leaves the room too. He leaves the command room, like right here, I think. Or no, actually he goes in the command room. But later on he leaves the command room, and it seems like he's gonna go meet them at the bottom or something. But no, he just stays in the command room. I thought we were gonna see some cool, at least give Thrawn a little bit more action or more direction, besides just stand with your arms behind your back and be a smartass. You know, I would have liked to see some kind of confrontation between Ahsoka and Thrawn, but they never meet face to face. Or even like one more scene with Sabine and Thrawn. Like they had some good back and forth in that one episode. Like I want to see more of that. But no, it seems kind of just for this whole like sequence here, and just in general this episode just reminded me again, like this is Star Wars TV. It's not Star Wars film. It's not a theatrical release. So it just feels, you can really feel how small everything is, and just like they're just walking from set to set, or really just rearranging the dome, the magic dome they call it, whatever, where there's the screens in the background that can change perspective and all that without having, they don't have to go to another set. It's the same set pretty much. You can look it up, the dome, right? The new version of green screen. So then we get them turning into zombies. So this is like, okay, we're gonna get some cool witch magic, maybe. Look, they're necromancers. To this point, I guess the stormtroopers weren't dead, and now they're raising them from the dead. But later on, we see some stormtroopers in black who look like they've been dead for a while, and maybe they were. But I think the white stormtroopers were living stormtroopers, and then here's when they're raised from the dead. Because there was like people like speculating that they were a zombie army already. And the thing is, with this zombie zine, like, yeah, I'm among the people who are kind of tired of zombies, right? And we see them too often. And it goes in waves, like, but if you want to do zombies nowadays, you gotta like do more than just have, some soldiers like struggling to walk a little bit, or like just. They don't even look that zombified anyways. And it's not scary or creepy. Like one thing I liked about the Rings of Power, Rings show that aired last year. Like I liked the first couple episodes because it was directed by a horror director, and the orcs actually were creepy and were shot in like a horror film kind of way, where they were, like the main characters were like hiding and peering through a slit in the cupboard or something, and it was focused on like the animalistic, the creepy factor of the goblins, and so it felt really tense. Something like that's what I would have liked to see here. Like, these are zombie stormtroopers. Like, give me some horror zombie vibes. Maybe some change up the Dutch angle, change up the angle, get some close-ups of their creaking up as they're like rising up from the dead or something. Like, something. Give me something spooky here, something creepy. But no, it's just like more medium wide shots, and they're just fodder for them to swing their lasers at. There's no sense of dread here. Like, they barely even like run away, right? They're just like, oh shit, here they are. Zap, zap, zap. And when they, later when you see scenes of them just rushing up to stormtroopers, it doesn't even, it's like, okay, they're just stormtroopers, they're not zombie stormtroopers. Here we have Thrawn asking in little words, in few words, for her to sacrifice herself for the Empire. And this is what I mean when I'm saying, like, are these characters don't show emotion or just are impassive? They, like, she should be more upset right now, right? Even if like she doesn't show it to Thrawn's face, we should have a scene of her like struggling with this decision, But she's just a faithful pawn for Thrawn. There's no like conflict there. If you want a good story with some good character development, you need to introduce that conflict there. Or else it's just like cardboard cutout characters who are just little pawns in games of the main villains, without much weight or purpose to them. And then here we have another sword fight. And it is a little weird that like Ezra and Sabine just like circle around and keep going. Like, well, if she's gonna fight off Ahsoka, then who's gonna deal with the other two? Turns out it's these zombie troopers, but still, it feels like she could at least try to like stop them somehow. Like, I expected her to be a lot more powerful, especially now with her black eyes. I expected some more witchery, like early, like the episode 6, was it? Or episode 7, actually, I think. The three mother witches, like, they tapped into the Force and they located where Sabine was. They located that they like felt that Ahsoka was communicating with Sabine. It was kind of creepy how they were like listening in, eavesdropping, using their mind magic, and like that was something interesting. I thought maybe we could get more into that in this series, but no, it's just another sword fight, but the sword has a fire on it this time. And like, what if like she like got into their heads and like got Sabine to turn on Ahsoka or something, like, and that would have, good. That would have been good for that character arc that they both were going through, like Sabine, the master, and the apprentice, and like Sabine not being so sure about her role, and Ahsoka fearing that like Sabine will use her power for bad. Like they could have played with that. Like the witches could have like been like the voice in their heads that like got them to do bad things, sinful things, like the devil versus the angel on each shoulder, something like that. Or even just like within that fight scene, have some kind of conflict there beside, conflict in their heads besides just like, let's just do a sword fight. And then of course the Sabine and Ezra let's just do a freaking shootout and sword fight with these troopers that I guess are zombies that have no personality, that have no freaking uh, minds of their own. They're just boring fodder from the fight. So some people, and sometimes myself, I like just simple action scenes that don't have to have uh, high stakes or characters that are like well defined for the hero to beat up. Like those can be fun, but if you're gonna make those, then maybe you have to focus more on the choreography. It has to be like actually fun to watch instead of just like generic swing swords, shoot, um, which I think this is getting a little bit too close to. We do see her using her force here, so that's some progression there. It's pretty cool, but it does seem a little quick for her to like suddenly and overconfident of herself to be like, yo, Ezra, just jump and I'll push you, you know. But these two have the faith, and she's able to force push him on there, and that's like a new thing in Star Wars, right? We don't really have seen someone push somebody across a big gap. But it makes sense, I guess, with the Force, and I guess Sabine is like now at a certain level now where she can do that. And we think that maybe she jumps, maybe she doesn't, but I mean, we know she sticks around. Because we didn't. It cuts before she jumps, so it's like before she even gets to the end of the platform. So of course she stays behind and helps her friend Ahsoka, her Professor Ahsoka. Yo, Professor. And then Ezra is able to sneak in there and I guess takes the uniform. Like we don't get to see what exactly he does. Like we just assume he maybe uses, it looked like a different armor, different uniform, but maybe he knocks someone else out and steals their uniform. I don't know, but he ends up stealing a ship to get back to Hera. But it would have been nice to see some of that. But this episode is like a little bit too in a hurry at this point, especially here at the end. It's like there's not enough chance to like let these villains, like the main witch, breathe, in the sense of her showing who she, like her extent of her powers. Like she's just sliced up pretty quickly there. I don't know, it just seems like they like maybe cut something and then they had to reshoot. I don't know, like especially earlier when I was saying how I thought Thrawn was gonna like left the command room and was gonna go down and like meet them out at the ground. It feels like maybe they were gonna shoot, or they did shoot some of that, but then they like decided against it and they had to cut something out. I don't know, like it doesn't feel completely coherent, this episode. And they get all the way this far and Thrawn's like, nope, I won, see you later. And now it's like the reverse. Now they're the ones stuck on the planet, right? And I was wondering, like, I thought, like, yeah, maybe some people would get stuck on the planet, but I didn't think Ezra's. I thought, like, if Ezra's gonna escape, then they all would. So it's an interesting development. Now they're on this planet. They're in this galaxy. The next season, we're gonna deal with them here, along with Baylan and Shin, who are also stuck here. I thought they were running towards the ship. Well, I thought at least Shin was, along with those stormtroopers last night, but I guess they didn't make it, and she just went to hang out with the Outlanders, whatever they're called over here. I'm sure she's like, fuck, like, my master left me. I'm stuck on this planet. Maybe, I guess I'll try to be the leader of this clan here or something if they let me. But I don't know about that. It seems like they're setting it up so Shin like has to work together with Ahsoka and Sabine. Like next season, it's gonna be, them three figuring things out, and probably on the lookout for Balin, right? Because where's Balin? He's freaking going to Mount Mordor, whatever it's called, right? From Lord of the Rings, the volcano. Some old statue from some old civilization pointing to the magic mountain or something. You don't get much more info on exactly what he's up to, but he senses some power and he's going to it. Some old Jedi magic he's gonna tap into, some force residue or something, and bring about a better Jedi Order or something. Well, I guess we'll find out next season, though. It's unfortunate that Stevenson has passed away, and we'll see how they'll deal with that. You know, if he had a big role in the second season, it might be good to recast, but they also might have him just die off screen. Like, one thing I can think of is he goes off into the mountain, and Shin and the rest go in that direction, and they find, maybe they find him dead, or maybe they find the person who killed him, and the person who killed him was like, oh, he was nothing, I killed him, and something like that, and do it that way. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, he was one of the better performances in this series. So it's a shame. It sucks that he's no longer around, but he left a good impression on this series, at least. And now they're at the witch planet Dathomir or something. And here we have Ezra come back. Like, you would think, hey, maybe when they're pointing the gun at you, before they point the guns at you, you could have like spoken up, or maybe not even, take out the uniform, put on your own clothes. I mean, did you toss it or something? At least take the helmet off when you're exiting the freaking vehicle. This scene just seemed very contrived. Like, oh, let's make this tense. Like, who could this be? Who's under this? It's not a stormtrooper. It's actually Ezra. Like, okay, like, we didn't need all that drama there. And I guess they're gonna work together next season, Ezra and Hera, to go maybe find some space whales and come back and help them. Like, it'll be a reverse of this season, right? This time it's Hera and Ezra riding the space whales to go save Ahsoka, Sabine, and Shin, the new friend they met in the Badlands. And here, like, again, Ahsoka is too chill. Like, you just freaking got stranded here. You put your faith in the spirit whales, in the space whales to get here. You use your force powers to find Sabine, and you had all this confidence to battle the battles on these Badlands, and freaking try to get to Thrawn, and defeated the witch, all that. And at that portal in space there, they just freaking zapped away. And you're just like, oh, whatever, I guess we were meant to be here. This is all, all part of the Force's will or something. I don't know. Like that would be a good point for her character to be, point in her character arc to like actually get annoyed and be like, shit, like, maybe I should doubt myself more. Maybe I was overconfident. Like, some conflict in her head, like, what, suddenly she meets Anakin in the limbo, and now she's fixed. Now she's super monk, nun, force wielder who has no conflict in her head and just goes with the flow. Like, it just feels off, She sees some kind of shadow in the starlight, and apparently it's Anakin looking over as a Force ghost. Always got to have that ending with the Force ghost, huh? Star Wars. Yeah, just put the Force ghost in the end, and you get little all the people who grew up watching Anakin get a little bit emotional, and like, oh, he's watching over us, so everything's gonna be okay. What would are you just gonna stand there and look on? Like, maybe you should you should reveal yourself to maybe to Sabine too, and help them get out of here. Like, I hope we get to see Anakin again in season 2 as a Force ghost chatting up. You know, Yoda did that with Luke in the movies, right? Let's have some more interaction here. You know, this is not. I don't imagine this can't be like The Last Jedi, where you see at the end like all the Force ghosts, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and who else is there? There was someone else there. They're just looking on as the rest party. I don't know. It just felt a little bit too Easter egg nostalgia bait to end that on that scene there. And now we gotta wait a year or two for season 2. Or I don't think they even announced it yet. Maybe it won't be season 2. Maybe it'll just be the Thrawn movie they're cooking up. But that's gonna come out way later, I think. So I don't think so. I don't know. It just overall, like, it kind of just fell off for me, especially in this episode. Like last episode, the more I think about it, the less at least I like it. The less I like it. Episode 6 again was the peak, where I felt like there was so much potential. There was a lot that could happen. And then this one, just like none of the characters like really felt like they felt real. They were more emotional. They just kept being emotionless. You know, Ahsoka, like even the villains, like the witch, like Sabine. I think, you know, the actress for Sabine, I think, did a good job with what she had, but you know, it wasn't the best. This best writing in general. And maybe I'm being too harsh on it because I'm like, I just keep thinking of Andor and just how amazing that show was. And you know, maybe I should expect this to be more close to you know, typical Star Wars, more original trilogy, more Mandalorian, more cartoony Star Wars. And if that's what you're after, then you'll probably like Ahsoka, I guess, right? And it's not like it's the worst Star Wars show out there. It's definitely had some good stuff. I wanted to get a little deeper and go further, and then just didn't live up to that. Didn't live up to that. We didn't even get to see we didn't get to know too much about Shin or even Baylan either. Like, we started to get a bit more from their characters last couple episodes, but there was like hardly any Shin in this episode and barely any Baylan. So it's like, I guess they're leaving that for next season, but I don't know. The witch magic was underwhelming, just more sword fights, a lot of contrived little things here and there. Overall, the ending especially felt rushed. I don't know. It just it didn't live up to what I guess I wanted, or what episode 6 was promising in my head. But whatever. There's always going to be another Star Wars, right? They're making, what is it called? The Acolytes. That's another series. That's going to be like the Goonies, I think. Or is that the Skeleton Crew? There's like a bunch of Star Wars coming. So if you don't like this one, there might be another one just around the corner. All right, and that's it. That's my thoughts on Ahsoka season 1. Let's Let's do a spin-off on the witches. Let's do a witch show. I'd watch that. That'd be cool. But give them some cooler magic. Like take away any swords. Just give them some. Let them use fire. That green fire. Raise the dead. Use their mind. Telekinesis maybe. I don't know, something like use the force to manipulate things. Use the force to manipulate people. Get people to turn on each other. Like something interesting, something cool. But nope, we're not getting any of that, are we? I guess not, huh?